Resolution, A Search for Traces, a contemporary novel against the background of Operation Anthropoid, the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich, the butcher of Prague during World War II, on the occasion of the 75th anniversary of this outstanding act of resistance against the Nazis in 1942, now published in English. They left the subway station, emerged from the neon-illuminated underground into the bright sunshine which pervaded this summer with relentless tenacity. They walked from the new town hall across Charles Square to Reslova Street. The corner building of St. Cyril and Methodius Cathedral, historical status notwithstanding, was a somewhat ungainly structure. "Doesn't exactly look like a tourist attraction," Anna said. Broker and Anna descended through the narrow entry over the stone steps leading to the crypt, the cold walls and stuffy air matching both their moods. Inside, on the walls, lined up in amateurish detail, black and white photographs documented the prologue to the assassination on Heydrich, the attack itself and its consequences, and finally, the death of the Magnificent Seven. Nothing here bore witness to the arrival of the 21st century. The displays lacked any kind of visual polish. "Why should they bother? What happened here speaks for itself," Charles Broker said to Anna. She had been silently walking beside him and had not uttered a word of commentary. He stopped in front of one of the pictures, apparently forgetting that he was supposed to act as a tour guide for Anna. Unsure what was expected of her, she awkwardly moved on. To avoid being idle, she spoke softly into her dictaphone, dictating the text from the passages which were glued next to each photograph, explaining the stages of the events. The old man heard murmuring behind him, became aware of Anna, stepping from one picture to the next and speaking into her cassette machine. He felt deference towards her restraint. He knew he could not overburden her discretion for much longer. There was one photograph he was unable to pull himself away from. He knew the depicted scene. Burned into his memory, it had been haunting him for decades. He gave himself over to it, leaving the present, began to forget that more than half a century had passed since then. He lost himself in memories, lived through his own past as though he had actually turned back time. Then, suddenly, after an eternity in the timeless space of remembering, he felt Anna's eyes on him. He turned to her, quickly screwed up his eyes. Yes, he would have to tell her. When Anna and Broker returned to the hotel early that evening, they were hesitant to part and decided, in wordless agreement, to drink coffee together at the bar. They were the only guests. The steaming, fragrant espresso with ice-cold water arrived unexpectedly fast. The condensed water on the outside of the glass almost caused it to slip from Anna's hand. She drank. Mr. Broker looked at her, took a sip of coffee. Gradually, Anna grew calmer. A subtle certainty overcame her. She felt herself becoming more serene. An almost bizarre attraction to this old man was beginning to capture her. In this odd, shady bar atmosphere, Anna and Broker sat in rewarding silence, and he understood her calm as a tactful rapprochement, a careful bridging of the loneliness that ruled both their lives.